Good afternoon, good evening, SpeedGaming 4. Welcome to the Link to the Best Randomizer League Season 4. We are on our second Fad Keys match between Shaktool being represented by Aussie and Team Boomer Friendly represented by Leviticus. How's it going, folks? I am Wolfling070, and joining me on the mic tonight as my co-commentator is Tracy Ev. How's it going?
Pretty good. This is, as he said, game 2 between these two teams. Last night, Hitaka beat Scrub Casual. So that put Shaktool's game at 2-1. Boomer Friendly still looking for their first win at 0-3. But, you know, this tough one for them. Aussie really is one of the best runners out there. Leviticus, I don't know as well, but I mean, this is the team that was runner-up in the Open League. I do kind of like to joke that, both teams were in the Final Four. Unfortunately for Boomer Friendly, they were in the Final Four of Open. Shaktool's game in the Final Four of Invitational. But, of course, anything can happen. And we'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, and we have, of course, Fad Keys there as our rule set, for those who are unfamiliar with that. It is basically key sanity with all dungeons required for our goal, which means we do have to climb up Aga 2. And you're probably thinking, oh, Aga 1's going to be a problem. Aga 1's keys are actually not shuffled in this specific custom rule set, so they will be vanilla.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword in this case. I mean, as I keep saying, I will not miss the Castle Tower key hunt that we've had in previous all dungeons key sanity, but it does make Aga Tower back to the boring old, 5 minutes of nothing new happening. Even if it is required for Dark World, which is actually more likely in this mode because you don't have to worry about finding those two keys.
Speaking of early Dark World, there's our Moon Pearl in the Sanctuary, and we also have a bottle to start things off as well.
Yeah, nice to not have to worry about that Moon Pearl, but, it really doesn't get you anything right now, so, it's a nice item, but other items would be better. I kind of like the bottle better, to be honest, because I could see that extra check in Kakariko.
I couldn't agree more, and honestly, well, it depends on how fast we get the other two pieces of Dark World access. That can be very early.
Oh, nice. I see getting a bomb drop from the guard here means the bombs from the bomb prize pool, so it gets 2 free bombs out of this early check, and we'll see what the uncle has. Big key to Eastern Palace. That's a good big key. No weapons, though, so not going to go into the escape.
And if we need to do Agate 1, it's likely to stay for last. We see a map there. And for those who are unfamiliar with Key Sanity, maps and compasses have extra functionality in this mode. Maps actually allow us to have that information that we normally do a map check for. You will not be seeing map checks all too common in the first hour of the seed or so. But it doesn't really matter because we need to get all of them anyway. We might see people check for 5-6 and Green Pendant, but Sahasrara and the Bomb Vendor can give us that information as well without needing the maps.
Yeah, well, considering it's all dungeons, it really doesn't matter that much. You want to know what your pendants are to some extent because pendant progression can be in Ganon's Tower, which is never fun. But also, other than that, it's just knowing your red crystals and knowing what the green pendant is. Of course, you'll see the green pendant when it drops, so you'll know when you get it. And it's not uncommon for runners to just check their menus after they get a crystal drop just to see whether it was a red one or not. And Asi already saying no to a piece of heart early. And those crabs dropping big 20s, and Asi says, you know what, I want as many of those as I can get early, so farming up a lot of money here.
Might have been thinking to go to Zora early. With the
Moon Pearl, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Now, of course, I didn't mention the compasses yet, and compasses aren't that useful at all for this level of runners. But if you're new to Key Sanity, they are actually quite nice. They will tell you an item count for that dungeon so you can make sure you didn't miss anything. Yeah,
I actually completely disagree. I don't think it matters what level of runner you are. Compasses are a nice luxury item because they give you that number of items. That said, you're not going to go out of your way to pick up a compass, but you don't mind getting them in certain situations. Certain dungeons especially, like Ice Palace is a terrible one to keep track of. Misery Mire, another one.
Yeah, for newer runners, though, it's probably very helpful. If they don't know, especially when they don't know the item counts. Chicken House doesn't seem to have anything noteworthy here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot on Kakariko. You're the obligatory small key to pod there. Also, the big key. So get the bow and the hammer, you can go straight and beat the dungeon, which, you might do. And then clean up the rest of it later when you get all the rest of those small pod keys when they come.
Yeah, also the Cane of Burden was found there on Aussie. That is an invincibility item. It's not ideal, but it can help in certain situations. And there we have the small key to Tower Hera as well. That's one single little key. So nice to have that.
No, it's one of the most annoying keys in the game. I'm happy to never see the small key to Hera. It's not needed to beat the dungeon logically or otherwise, and it's just a long check. If you can avoid it, you'd rather. And now if you get it early, you're like, when you have a fire source and you're in Hera, you're gonna feel obligated to check it. And it's just such a long check. But at least you're getting it before you're doing the dungeon, so at least you got that.
Yeah, and it's one less of those stray singular keys out there. We also have a few of the more important small keys. The pod, or not the pod, the swamp small key in particular unlocks the entire dungeon.
Yeah, it's the most important small key in the game, to be honest.
And of course we have desert, which can, depending on the situation, not be required, but is usually always required for key logic.
It's logically required, but you kind of ignore that key logic if you have the big key.
Alright, this is our first look at Sick Kid, I believe.
Yep. Leviticus, unfortunately, not having that bottle. Only 50 rupees, so the one big thing for Aussie is that he doesn't have to worry about coming back to this.
That was a pretty quick library trick. I didn't quite catch that.
Well, probably nothing. We'll see it on Aussie's side in just a second. I'm not going to get that container heart at the race game. It's just a compass. And to my point, that's not a compass you're going to go out of your way for.
Yeah, no.
And Aussie's going to blind check this. He doesn't usually do this, I don't think, but A, this is Key Sanity, and B, Kakariko has been pretty dry, so I kind of don't blame him for going ahead and doing this blind in hopes that this is the progression item that they're looking for.
Yeah, the dryness of the seed begs the question whether or not we had this as an early Aghanim seed, and I don't think we do, honestly.
No, we don't have anything pointing to Aga or anything pointing to not Aga. We have not found a sword, we have not found a glove, a hammer, any of that stuff, so we don't know.
Well, as you said that, we just found the hammer of the dam on Leviticus' side.
Okay, so yeah, so definitely not immediately pointing to an Aga seed.
Yeah, and that is actually a good thing when it comes to Key Sanity, and especially all dungeons in particular, because the thing with Aghanim 2 is that if you have Aga 1 and Aga 2 left as your last two clears for the all dungeons goal, you can go up to Aghanim 2, mirror, and then fight Aghanim 1. And the nice thing about saving Aghanim 1 for last is, unlike Aghanim 2, you get a full health and magic refill before the Ganon fight.
Yeah, it's nice, but, you know, in a situation where you have to kill Aga 1 at some point anyway, it's just not that big a deal if you have to do it early. Just, you know, if you have that mirror, remember to mirror to the light world before you save and quit. That's the biggest thing. And Leviticus using that bottle and that bee in the bottle to help with the mini moldworms. I'm a big fan of that.
Also, send the bottle for later. There's another Dark Palace key and another bottle of the red potion. Also,
Aussie's gonna have enough money for Zora. Even without farming this crab, he's gonna get 100 inside Mini Moldworm Cave. So he's gonna have plenty of money to do that. Leviticus, not even close. Could farm the crab if you wanted to. I don't think you do at this point, if you're this far away, though.
I like the use of the cane here on Leviticus' side. These sand crabs over here, they are probably one of the most dangerous early game enemies in this game, honestly. They do a whole 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, no, they are the most dangerous. There's nothing else that does that kind of damage early game. Okay, we'll get a first look at Ice Rod Cave here from Leviticus. And we get flippers.
Oh,
Aussie.
no.
Nah, it's as usual. Aussie likes the double beep. So apologies to those of you that don't like beeping. Now, he is going to get those flippers, which puts Zora completely in logic. So good for him that he's going to be able to do all those checks. Leviticus is going to have to leave the Zora item itself behind with not nearly enough money. I don't know if he's even checked the crabs. The bush crabs.
Mushroom on the Lake Hylia Island.
Hate to see that. Either put something I know I need to get or something I know I don't need to get, but don't give me a mushroom. Same with the shovel, fill in the blank fetch quest item. Powder the one I wouldn't mind just because it's good to that powder has extra functionality.
Yeah, mushroom's not bad either because when we have the Cadence tomorrow, we can do the fake powder trick.
Yeah.
Which gives us the item checks and the accessibility the magic.
Yeah, but you hate to have to do that.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So yeah, I mean, early on, can't tell much. Runner's basically doing the same things. Ossie's already checked Uncle. Leviticus has not. Ossie, again, also going to have enough money for the Zora check. Ooh, and a hook shot in the waterfall cave. So that's really good. Once we can get to the mountain, we can do the East Death Mountain checks. Of course, right now we don't have a glove, so we're not going to the mountain.
And Leviticus, after using the bee to get rid of it in Mini Moldering Cave, tactically gets it back in the Waterfall Fairy Cave.
Ah, well.
It might be a good thing, though. Oh! So yeah, something that mushroom idea of mine comes pretty big there. We just saw the Kata Samari on the Zora ledge.
And we have a hammer, so we could see some fake powdering. I don't know if I go back to do that right away, just because, yeah, I see also getting that bee. It is out of logic, and you had a walk all the way back to the Kakariko just for an out of logic check seems like a lot, but we'll see.
Yeah, fake powder itself is the out of logic right there. But the scene's been pretty dry. If that can help us... If it has like a glove or something, that would be really valuable.
Oh, for sure. So Leviticus can head over to the uncle and probably the escape. Not the greatest weapons. I mean, the hammer's not too bad for the escape. We'll see if Ossie does the same thing or if he goes over to Eastern, because those are basically your choices. That and Aegina, but... Oh, I didn't... Well... It's one less check that Ossie has to worry about, but yikes, it's not exactly a good return on your investment there. Money not really an issue to see when you have bush crabs, they'll just give you red 20s anytime you want them, though.
The ironic thing is that the red 20 on the crabs is usually the rare item they give.
Well, I think I see those more often than I see fairies or something like that.
Well, no, I mean, that's what they normally do in vanillas. They give you a bunch of ones, and then rarely they'll give you a 20.
No, the way it works is there's this, I think it's the second to last drop is something different. So, in the case of vanilla, it'd be the red 20. But you have to keep picking them up. If you skip one for too long, then it just stops.
Yeah.
Now, Ossie gonna do Saha, which makes sense because he's already done the uncle check. Oh, a book. Oos. Desert Palace, anyone? Green pendant is ice. I like this check better in Key Sandy, even even if it's all dungeons. The green pendant has a little greater meaning than most of your other dungeon prizes.
I'm thinking about that desert play, and I kind of don't want to do it, honestly. In this, it's only going to be one item that's free to be available. You get information on the torch item, and you get desert ledge. Plus,
No, it's more than that. It's one item, information on Torch, Desert Ledge, but also you're going to do a Gina at the same time.
yeah,
So
exactly. I was about to say that.
So it's you know, kind of, I like the early book often leads to something, and you know, gives you that free Agena check, whereas normally it's just a one-off that you don't want to walk over to. Ossie's going to clear Eastern except the boss, because we can do everything in here except Armos Knights, and if we find a bow, we can finish it off. One chest won't be in logic, of course, because we don't have a lamp to get there, but Ossie very well adept at getting through that dark room, and he's got 6 hearts, which is more than enough to do it.
Meanwhile, Leviticus in Zelda Cell finds our first sword. Not really that helpful in the grand scheme of things, but...
Not yet. I mean, it's good to have a sword, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, it makes things so much better. It's looking like it might actually be desert.
Yeah, we got a few more checks in Eastern, but yeah, desert is certainly a possibility. We'll see if Ossie decides to do escape first, or if he decides to do desert first. And there's the glove.
Neither.
So it is Eastern. So Ossie may not get that sword in the escape, because it's going to be a long time before he wants to go back there now that we have Dark World access. Big key to Thieves Town. That's a really nice big key to get early. Thieves Town going to be full clearable. Ossie doesn't have a sword, but with a blue cane, a red cane, and a hammer, he's got lots of choices for the blind fight. And Leviticus will have the sword as well, so looks like he's going to head over to Eastern and get his glove.
I'm honestly a little iffy about Thieves Town. We do have the hook shot, which will help with the Hellway. But we're relatively low health, and also we don't have the Thieves Town small key, and I don't want to go back for that big chest if it's something important.
No, I mean, but this is Key Sandy. You're gonna double dip dungeons, and you just gotta accept that. And if you weigh all your decisions on whether or not you have all the keys, I think you're just gonna, you know, end up in a bad situation.
I'll agree to that much, yeah. I would definitely check the front 4 of Thieves Town first. But whether or not I go to the back would still be determined. And
I would do it. In a non-Key Sandy mode, without the hammer, I'm a little more wary about that situation. But like I said, this is Key Sandy. You're double dipping dungeons all the time, and usually you're skipping nothing. And if you do skip something, the game will eventually tell you, so you can get back there when you're ready. Ossie gonna go do Hype Cave right away. I like this as a starter for Dark World access.
yeah, and in Key Sandy, he can just head north and check the bomb merchant to confirm where our 5-6 are.
And again, it's Tower Bicky. That's a nice... I mean, it doesn't do anything for us right now, but it's good to have it. You don't have to worry about it. You need it eventually. Okay, where is Ossie going?
Looks to be checking the pyramid.
Yeah,
Is he also heading to Catfish?
Maybe. Don't imagine he's going to Pod. With only one, with just a couple of small keys and a big key. Ideally, you'd want to have the hammer and the bow before you go there, and maybe just beat it and come back for the cleanup.
Well, we only have 2 small keys. That's not a lot to go on in Pod, honestly.
I mean, actually, you can do a ton with 2 small keys, but if you use the 2 small keys now when you have the big key, you have to wait for another small key to beat the dungeon. Although it takes 6 to actually put beating it in logic. And we are going to see a catfish check, it looks like. And let's see what Leviticus does with his Dark World access. So like he's gonna go over to Village Outcasts.
Oh no, I'm actually gonna check the back of the escape sequence.
Oh
first.
yeah, that's a good one. Blue mail is nice, but not really needed.
I mean, I'll always take it. There's another sword.
There's a sword. Sword number 2. Might never get that sword, but we'll see. He might, Catfish is not one of the more favored checks after all. But we'll see. See, saving a coin to Sank, so we'll see if he does back of escape or the trip over to Village Outcast. Yeah, looks like he's also going to do back of escape first. We'll get that blue mail. Nice luxury item.
I only just realized I don't recognize the sprite Alsay's using. That must be a relatively new one.
I have no idea. He uses various sprites, which he does have he does kind of keep track of a list of sprites that are bad that he will not use, but he has got a whole bunch that he'll use. Leviticus' sprite is one of my favorites. The Samus sprite. So definitely approve of that one.
Yeah, and both runners abandoning Dark Cross in that position, and it makes perfect sense considering we don't have the Hyrocast small key to go that way.
You don't need it. Logically, you need it for the items that Leviticus checked beyond the first chest in the trip down to Zelda Cell.
Yeah, true.
But Dark Cross just needs a lamp.
I was referring more so to the fact that they couldn't go from that way.
Oh, yeah, but Leviticus could have done it when he did the rest of the escape, so. And we get an early ped check, it's nothing. And first check of the Lumberjack looks like it's just a map, so especially in all dungeons, you're not going to bother picking that up.
Yeah, we already saw that on Leviticus' side. He did it like 5 minutes in, I think, even if that. And also just gonna go up the mountain, sequence breaking the lamp.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff up here.
Yeah,
with
there
the
is.
Hookshot, you can get to that right side. With the Hookshot also, you can sequence break Tower of Hair if he wants to.
Map check here. We have a 5-6 at Misery Mire. That's actually its vanilla location. And Red Pendant in Turtle Rock.
We already knew Green Pendant Ice. That is a lot of information this early.
And Pod and Swamp are both blue crystals.
I didn't realize we picked up that many maps, to be honest. And Leviticus is going to start checking Skull Woods, doing the front. In Key Sandy, I'm much more willing to call this the just overworld check, since we're going to get items, as opposed to normally when we're just getting a whole bunch of dungeon items and there's only 2 actual items. Unfortunately, with no keys, if he wants to do the front, all of the front, in the first part of Skull Woods, he's going to have to drop down and will possibly lock himself in there. So I don't know if he's going to want to do that. You could steal this key, but then yet you risk not being able to get to the end of the dungeon until you've picked up a small key. So we'll see what he chooses to do.
So far, nothing from Aussie here except for another bottle.
Small key to Swamp. That's a big one. That is the most important small key in the game. More money that he doesn't need. Big key to Skull Woods, which he, I mean, it's good to find it before you do this dip. So if there's something in that big chest, Leviticus it's gonna be a long time before Leviticus wants to go back for it. But it also is not needed to actually beat Skull Woods. So it's just, literally, it's a fetch quest. Just the one big chest item.
Yeah, Aussie making great work at this hookshot he has.
Hookshot's the best item in the game. I don't know what. It's my favorite item. Just bombs on the floating island. We're not doing that. I think he is going to go do Hera right now. You will orphan the big chest, which is always a little bit scary. But there's lots of trips up the mountain, so he can easily come back at another time to do it. We're going to get an ether tablet check first.
Makes sense to me.
Small key that steals light. So I guess that's a pod small key?
Bow from Leviticus found in the treasure chest game.
Yeah, that's one that Aussie will get, and definitely not going to be worried about that. Not in a bad spot. And we get a map here. Is he going to pick it up? Yeah, he says, why not? I'll pick up that map. Also, if you see the little C there, up there by the magic bar, in the newest update, we now have a C for compass and a P for pendant over there. In a regular mode, it'll just show up no matter what. In a Key Sanity mode, it'll show up if you have the map.
So C for crystal.
Yeah.
I was wondering where that was. That's actually quite nice. It lets you, in situations like this, where we found the map of this dungeon, that gives you that information on having to leave.
Yeah, it's not in all dungeons. It's not a big deal. You know you have to beat the dungeons anyway, but it's kind of nice to have it there for if it's not in all dungeons, Key Sanity, or just a sanity check when you're playing a regular seed. People have been known to mark their pendants and crystals wrong and not pay attention to the music. Bugnet, not very interesting. And Leviticus says, I don't care about that Thieves Town Small. I am going to go ahead and beat this dungeon now, which, I like.
Looks like according to the chat, the key we found that steals light is a pod small. And I will agree with that. With the whole section that steals, I also thought it was going to involve the blind Thieves Town small key. I'm not too keen on the whole key hints.
So getting our first crystal of the game. Our first dungeon, I'm not gonna say dungeon clear, because this dungeon is not cleared. But, boss killed, we'll say.
We do have something in chat brought up, because people can't hear the pendant crystal music. I forgot to mention something about Key Sanity. That is scrambled, actually. You cannot rely on the music in dungeons to tell if it's a pendant or crystal in Key Sanity.
Oh yeah, that's the point of having the P and the C in Key Sanity. It matters more for that.
That has been a feature for a good while now. What, like 3 years now?
Yeah, I as far as I know, that's always been part of Key Sanity. And we're gonna get an early Spike Cave check from Aussie. Choosing to do this instead of Spiral Cave. And Jess gets a map for his trouble. And Leviticus gets another pod small key, so that gives him 3.
As you get past these Zazacs. Very annoying enemies, them.
So Leviticus is about to get his first boss down. We'll see if this is a pendant or a crystal. Like we know yet for Thieves Town.
If it's a pendant, we will know by default that the other dungeons are crystals. We just don't know which one of those crystals is the other 5-6.
And a big key to Misery Mire. That's one we're going to need. Aussie also going to do the pet check here.
And it is a
find
crystal.
Out that, yeah, and we will find out. Aussie will find out that pet is nothing. In all dungeons, I kind of like for pet to be something, because then you won't have any progression in GT. But sadly, pet is dead, and progression in GT could still be a thing for those pendant dungeons.
Yeah, and the chances of it being a pet seeder are also still fairly high, considering we have all those keys that could potentially be in the pool now.
They were actually 0 because we had head checks from both runners.
I mean, potentially.
Well, I mean, if we hadn't checked, yeah. It's always a potential, but once we've checked it, it's not there anymore. Aussie also going to do the Skullwoods checks. He also does not have a Skullwood small, but does have the big, so he will get that extra check in the big chest. And Leviticus doing the dig game.
Oh, that is not worth. Counted 23 digs for a heart container. That is not worth.
No, but I mean, there's worse things you can get.
Fair, it could have been 30 digs for every single rupee.
Aussie is going to steal the small key. So he's going to have to count on getting a Skullwood small from some other place. Pinball used to be a guaranteed small key, not anymore.
Nice little safety there pickup from Leviticus, finding the half magic on Stumpy.
And we'll see what else Skullwoods has to offer us. Big key to desert, that's a big one, and we have the book. Just need a fire source and can beat the dungeon. Quake medallion may or may not be of any use.
Leviticus meanwhile checking Hive Cave.
And a small key to Turtle Rock, yeah, I believe we saw Hype Cave from Aussie.
We did. I'm also just gonna wait for the hand to grab him.
Yeah, I like that. He's better than taking a death warp, and you don't have to. You don't have a mirror, so you can't use that.
Looks like Leviticus is gonna start checking East Dark World. Starting with the pyramid.
I was thinking check the north checks. Oh, it's just this one. And it's a heart container, not coming back for that.
Alright, looks like they're just trading over each other's ground right now. Although Leviticus is heading over to Pod.
Yeah, Pod will be new territory for us. We'll see what he decides to do. With the bow, he can do quite a bit. He can actually full clear the front if he uses his keys correctly, but then he wouldn't have one for the boss once he gets the hammer. But that would also involve several loops because you have to not open the front door. So we'll see what he decides to do. Aussie gets his bow.
I just realized we know where the third pendant is and the 5-6 crystal by default. We don't know the order in which they're in, but they're in Desert and Skullwoods respectively.
What about Eastern? We haven't seen an Eastern map check.
Oh, that's true. I completely missed that. We do have the map board, though.
Yes, we do. Now, if Pet already dead, the only thing that really matters is the Pyramid Fairy crystals. And you know, when I'm playing a Key Sandy mode, I'll typically just menu after crystals, see if it's red, especially in all dungeons. And we know where the green pendant is. It's at Ice Palace, so. Okay, Leviticus, are you gonna open this up? You are gonna open this up, okay. Small key to Turtle Rock, we're gonna need at least 3 of those, 4 of them logically.
And what we got here? A small shield. Not that useful, but it has saved me from getting knocked out of Fake Flipper, so I will appreciate it for what it's worth.
Yeah, well, now that we know that all the shields lag the same, it's hard not to run into any, so it's just not as big a deal.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it was discovered that they thought the mirror shield was causing lag, but it turns out that came from people that ran Hundo. And what it was all the extra heart containers that you pick up in Hundo. It wasn't the mirror shield.
Huh.
Yeah, they found that out about a year ago.
Oh, there's something new every day. And there's a
Powder's
powder.
nice. No more need for fake powder.
Nope, not at all. Well, we have a bit of time before our next check, so I do want to shout out to our tracker, Scrub Casual, keeping those items up to date for you. And take it as someone who's run the tracker before, it does like to eat inputs from time to time.
Yeah, but if you pay attention, you can catch that pretty easily. Scrub Casual doing a nice job. I always call the trackers the MVPs regardless, so. We couldn't do our jobs without them.
Cape as well, from Leviticus.
Yeah, we know the cape doesn't mean anything, because we've already seen that the bumper ledge doesn't have anything. And we already have that blue cane for Spike Cave, which didn't give us anything anyway, so. Cape's just a nice luxury item at this point. True.
It's still nice to have for tougher fights like Vitreous without silvers.
Yeah, I mean it's a luxury item. It's nice to have, but unfortunately not going to give us anything get anything out of it. We're going to see a hammer jump, so we don't have to use that small key there.
And we're about to see the blind fight here on Flossie.
Yeah, a little more interested to see what's in the dark maze of Pod here. Scrub Casual didn't quite get that jump off. I don't know if it's because he messed up the setup, or if it's because you can get some Ancilla action if you grab the wrong drops and stuff. Kind of similar to what happens with Herapot in Hera. So he's got to reset the whole thing. Also getting his Misery Mire big key, which we can't do anything with right now.
Yeah, Hammer Jump is, I believe, double pixel perfect. It does set the bomb.
I mean, you have to do it twice in fairly exact spots in terms of the Y coordinate. The X coordinate is basically doesn't matter. But once you know how to do it, it's really not that hard. Small key to Gan's Tower, which, might be needed depending on if we have to get progression in the basement. Don't need any small keys to GT if progression isn't an issue. If you're just climbing. We see a heart piece. I see those heart pieces behind 6 small keys.
Us is gonna get through the day game now.
And he'll get his well-earned full heart container. And Leviticus also getting a Weller and full heart container almost at the same time. And it looks like he's trying to death warp.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to his health, but that might have been the Saint Heart, which would have resulted in a full heal.
Yeah, not the heart you want right there. And I believe he's taking that death because he wants to do Eastern after this. Because he's got the big key in the bow, so he can full clear it if he wants to. No, it looks like he wants to use one last small key to do something.
Let's go find the boss.
Yeah, you could do that. That's right. We have bow, hammer, and everything else. No fire not even a fire rod to make this easier.
Yeah. Although, if I were in this situation in which I was going to do Pod and Eastern without mirror, I would likely go to do Eastern first, so that way I could warp the door.
Yeah, it's possible he's not even thinking about doing Eastern in this same trip. He might do that completely separately. I don't think he's dipped it yet at all. Ossie's full cleared to accept the boss.
Yeah, and also he's using the hookshot to great effect, getting just a little bit of extra movement here and there.
Looks like he'll also head over to Pod. Yeah, and Scrub rightfully pointing out that you can't do Eastern with this unless he gets the mirror. Which, would be nice if he got it here on Helmasaur, but I doubt we'll be so lucky.
What a stroke of luck that would be, though. Alright, so both runners in Palace of Darkness now.
Yeah, we'll see what Ossie chooses to do. If it were me, I'd probably do the boss. Well, I mean, without a fire source, maybe I don't do the boss first in hopes of finding a fire source. Let's see if Ossie opens. It looks like he is also going to open the front door. No, maybe not. Okay, it does decide to open it.
Oh, Leviticus has got to be a little careful. Oh boy, half a heart.
Yeah, he's fine. Using that bow to good effect.
I also made a little bit of an observation there with this menu. As we get the flu from Pelvosaur, that's not a bad find. But yeah, I noticed that when they tossed that bottle of the Pyramid Fairy, it was in fact a gold bee he got.
Okay. I mean, I don't find bees very useful in general, except the occasional cordless mini Moldorm cave.
I'm still finding humor in the whole use the bee in mini Moldorm cave, get a bee back for being smart.
Well, yeah,
about it.
I mean that's funny, but whether it's a gold bee or not doesn't really make a difference. Okay, let's see if Ossie decides to clear the back first, or if he goes straight to the boss. If I had a fire source, I would definitely just go straight to the boss, but without a fire source, maybe you don't. But Ossie says, I don't care about no stinking fire source, I'm just going to go to the back right now. The nice thing here is that you can be a little bit looser with your key usage, because you don't have to worry about leaving one for Helmasaur. We'll get that fluid activation from Leviticus right away. Nice item to have. Even though we can't check Meyer yet, just having that fast travel is super useful.
Now this does put Hera in logic.
Yeah, well, might be the Leviticus does that. Yeah, I mean with the basements, we still can't do the basement without a fire source. But if Leviticus wants to do the first floor, that's in logic. And with the hook shot, he can easily choose to beat the dungeon like Asi did.
Yeah, which of course would be out of logic, but details.
Yeah, it's not really so much that it's out of logic. The problem is you're orphaning that big chest, and when do you go back to it?
We are seeing our first check of the powder, though. Let's see if this is anything important.
It is a big key. That's a big key to Hera. So that's good for Leviticus. So he's going to go do Hera and be able to do all of it in logic except the basement. Can't do the basement without a fire source. But the rest of it, but that part doesn't stop you from doing the rest of it. And he'll get that big chest. And if that's something good, that'll be advantage Leviticus.
I'd say it's even a big advantage because when will Aussie go back to Hera to check out singular item?
When he does Dark Death Mountain, and/or Turtle Rock. That's one of the. I feel like that's one of the lesser fetch quest big chests. It's much better than say having to go back to Ice or even Skullwoods. Because there's just lots of items in that area, and it's very rare that you get through all of them right away.
Well, we may not even have the luxury of finishing Turtle Rock here. For all we know, GT could have the Ice Rod. That is entirely possible.
GT could have the Ice Rod, GT could have the Turtle Rock Medallion, GT could have the Turtle Rock Big Key, so yeah. Turtle Rock as a pendant is never good in all dungeons.
Heck, if Skullwoods is our other pendant, the Fire Rock could even be up there.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, Asi gets his crystal. We'll see if he goes back in. And he does. We'll see what he chooses to clear. With that one small key left, probably just going to go to the back and do the stuff he can do in the back. So he'll be leaving the big key chest and the Harmless Hellway chest, which I believe is the same chest that Leviticus left, so be very even in terms of what's left in pod for both runners. Leviticus getting that all-important Swamp Small Key, which we can't use until we get a mirror.
Yeah, we need the mirror just to get into the dungeon to begin with.
Unfortunately, Asi gonna find nothing else in here. No, we already know. And Leviticus gonna just go do Spiral Cave right away.
Did we
did not
do this?
Did not do this because he did Spike Cave. You often have the choice between Spike Cave and Spiral Cave, and most runners will typically choose Spiral, just because it's a little harder to get back to, but Asi wanted to do Spike Cave, so. He is deeper in the logic, so that may have been his reasoning.
Yeah, and I can agree with this, because he can still do Spike Caves after the fact. And just clear as much of the map as he can on this trip.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to allow him to do both pretty easily. He won't have to make the decisions, but it is definitely a longer trek, and unfortunately Spiral Cave not paying out with anything useful.
I think it actually has to go. We actually have to go to desert.
Well, the play's got to come soon, and we might see Asi do it right here because I don't think he's gonna be following that Hera Big right away. Did he even get that? I can't remember where it was.
I was on the Magic Bat.
Oh yeah, so he might do the magic. He'll probably do the Magic Bat and get that Hera Big. But I doubt he'll go straight back to the Hera Big chest.
And that heart container that was in the maze was in fact the
methane cart, which for Asi didn't matter.
No,
but for Leviticus, yeah, definitely not something he. That's something you want when you want a death warp.
Canis Maru is on Zoro Ledge, I believe.
Yeah,
someone
that's
was
right.
asking in the chat.
Yeah, that's correct.
Our runners also have different swords. Leviticus
Yes,
found one in Zelda Cell, and I believe the other one we found was on Catfish.
That's correct. Yeah, Leviticus showing how it's a little bit hard to set up the Harapot when you don't have boots. We already saw that on Asi's side.
Yeah, I don't know the bootsless setups, to be perfectly honest. I need the boots if I'm going to do this. I really should learn the bootsless setups, it's just I'm not too keen on doing hammer yumps either.
Yeah, Leviticus could have chosen not to do this. If you're full clearing the dungeon, it doesn't save nearly as much time as if you're go-moding it, or if you're in the, or if you're go-moding it, or if you're skipping the big key. Yeah, set up a bomb jump here.
Oops.
I was about to say that when you have the opportunity to just hit the star and then fall down, it's just a little bit better. And Asi gonna do escape, which he hasn't done yet. A little surprised he's doing this before Desert, but he's gonna get a sword out of this. He'll be able to get that pod small key that's sitting there on the ether tablet next time he goes up the mountain.
And unlike Leviticus, he might also check Dark Cross to get the item there.
Yeah, I mean, with this much health and a couple swords, it's really not that hard to get that item. So I fully expect him to do that. Early on, early on, I don't blame people for not wanting to do it. But we're late enough that I think you start skipping the logic for those sort of things.
Now, Asi will not be burned by the Herrick Big Key. That ended up just being 5 rupees.
Yeah, well, he'll be burned if he goes back.
Yeah, the time penalty is there, but...
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if he doesn't ever go back, no, it's not going to be a problem. Asi about to get his Master Sword, which would be nice for him. We'll see. Leviticus hasn't done Zora, so that Catfish check to get the sword there. If he waits for when he has the mirror, would get him 2 items, so he may do that at that point. Yeah, and apparently Boomer Friendly has very different setups according to our tracker Scrub, who's a teammate of Leviticus. Yeah, there's a lot of different setups for the Harapot.
Yeah, I think I practiced the Dash Boots one. I know there's one that's just bombs, and I know there's one that's a mixture of both.
Yeah, that doesn't even mention the spin speed setup, which I just can't get, but other people say is really easy. So.
Oh no, that's actually the setup I was talking about. Yeah, that's the one I learned.
Okay, so we're gonna get a new check here from Asi. We know this is just a map here. And maybe Leviticus will check his map to find out what that dungeon prize is. But, I don't know. We'll see if he does or not.
This is looking to be desert play.
I expect Asi to do this right at, unless he gets something really good from Dark Cross. I expect this play from Asi as well. I just gotta find this chest.
I believe I just saw Eastern as a blue crystal.
Oh, did Leviticus do his map check? I was busy watching to see what the Dark Cross item. Just 300 rupees, so... I don't know if Aussie had any worries about money, because I think he's done everything, but now he definitely doesn't have any worries about money.
Yeah,
I think this is all we have at this point, is this desert play, so I fully expect him to go there. Although I don't know if we've seen the did we ever see the mushroom get turned in? I don't think we did.
We don't have the mirror to go get it.
Oh, that's right. It's on the Lake Hylia Island. Aussie choosing to Aegina first. Or just a piece of heart. Like Leviticus is going to do that right now. Unfortunately, without a fire source, can't finish this dungeon. Yep, that's just a regular crystal over there at Eastern. It may be that Armos Knights has our progression.
Maybe.
Which will be a quicker check for Aussie, although you don't really like to go back in there after you've previously dipped the dungeon. Leviticus will be brand new. I don't think he's been in Eastern at all. Also, Aussie can go back and pick up that extra pod small key. But we've seen all the logical stuff in pod, plus a lot of the not logical stuff in pod. The rest of the things we haven't seen are behind 6 pod small, so... Yes. Small key on the torch, which is a familiar scene, but that doesn't have to be the desert small.
I'm trying to think where we're supposed to go. Oh, well, there we go. Big key to desert
Fire
is the
rod.
fire rod.
Wait.
Oh, did we miss that on the...
No, he doesn't have the Desert Palace Big Key.
Where was that?
Where was... I was about to ask the same question. Yeah, Scrub Casual making a good point that the Armos Knights are fire locked, but not anymore. Only in the... Oh, right, it was the Skullwoods Big. I think that's right.
Oh, right, and Skullwood's Big was...
Or maybe just been in Skullwoods, because we did get a ton of stuff in... Yeah, because Aussie decided to do this. Aussie will need a... Unfortunately, Aussie won't be able to finish Skullwoods, because he's going to need a small key to finish it. There are 3 out there, so he's going to find one at some point. But he's also going to be able to finish Desert right now, and logically finish Eastern.
Yeah, now with Quake in hand, Leviticus is definitely going to head over to Desert to go get that fire rod. And fire rod opens up a lot for us, actually. Lets us clear out Skull Woods, gives us access to the Armos Knights, logically. It also gives us access to full clear Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ice Palace is not a terrible... No, we don't have Mitts yet. We can't do Ice Palace. And Aussie can't do Back of Skull Woods because he doesn't have a small key.
Right,
logically speaking, Moth, you need 3 small keys for it. I believe that's probably true for the bridge chest. Well, the bridge chest, yeah, probably as well because you'd be wasting. You could use your keys wrong or whatever. But
I always forget what.
No, wait, no, that should be free because you don't. It's not behind any keys. So bridge chest is in logic.
Yeah, I always forget that one item, and unfortunately, at this time it was the Titan's Mitts. Dang it.
Titan's mitts are, yeah, don't kick yourself too hard on that one. It's very easy to forget mitts because you look at the tracker and it's lit up. It's just not lit up at the right color. So yeah, Aussie may be going back into Skull Woods, but he only has 1 check here. Unless he's picked up a Skull Woods key that we've missed, but I don't think so.
I'm not 100% sure either.
No, I don't recall seeing a small key, and I'm sure our tracker or someone in chat would have caught it. But like I said, Moth not in logic without all 3 smalls, so that's not going to be the progression item. And Leviticus going to do the ledge check, which makes sense because he did get that cape. And sees it's a container heart. So triple dip Skullwoods, anyone, unless this is a small key. And hopefully Aussie remembers that he doesn't have a small key to do this, although he'll get locked out right away. And
well,
there's the mitts. Yep, there you go. Now we can do Ice Palace. Leviticus is going to get his Master Sword here, so... Headed towards Catfish.
Also, you can also opt to do Turtle Rock and check the first few checks.
I mean, it looks like he's going to go to the Mire area first.
Makes sense. Get medallion information as soon as possible.
Let's see. I think he's got all the items to clear this. He's got a cane. We've got the big key.
Got a fire rod even.
Yeah, fire source even if we want to do the left side out of logic. Logically need all 3 Mire keys, but that's not going to stop him from doing that.
And we needed a medallion, and it turned out to be the one we have. Quick.
That was the one thing we were missing. Big key to Swamp, which is nice to have before you go into Swamp, because it's one of those fetch quest big keys.
We're going to see Leviticus now pick up his fire rod. We know it is in the...
Desert Big.
Yeah, Desert Big chest. Oh yeah, and because we know Desert is a crystal now, we know that by default it's the other 5/6. First off, and Skullwoods is the blue pendant.
Oh, there you go. We know all our crystals and pendants. And Aussie gonna do the standard Key Sandy routing in Misery Mire, which is different than your standard normal routing, because we'll do the left side first, even though we don't have that third Misery Mire small key to put this in logic. The rest of it's... Oh, there's an ice rod. That's important. The rest of this needs... The rest of it doesn't need any small keys, which is kind of funny. Misery Mire is kind of a goofy dungeon that way.
It's mirror for Go mode.
Also, we need a third Turtle Rock small key and a big key. And let's see, I think that's it.
I always forget keys when I'm doing this sort of tracking with this commentary.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of items, we just need the mirror.
Yeah, and we don't know our TR medallion.
Yeah, medallion pending, of course, as well.
And a lot of that Turtle Rock stuff could be in GT, so like we could be a long way from Go mode.
Yeah, there's also a lot of people coming in from SpeedGaming 3. How is it going, folks? You're joining us in the middle of a race between Aussie 101 and Leviticus. It's been pretty interesting, all things considering. A lot of twists and turns in this one. We're only just now finding a good, clean line to go through with the Fire Rod and the Titans Mets.
Boots! Yay! Now we can play the game for real.
The single best item in the game.
Also, I still like my hook shot, but also, hopefully Aussie and Leviticus, when he gets here, remembers that there's a small key sitting on the tortured desert that they're going to want to pick up. Unfortunately, without the mirror, they're not going to be able to use the mirror to get it. If that's the Turtle Rock small key, you're especially going to want it.
In Aussie's case, the Skullwood small key wouldn't be that bad either, considering he shoots his small keys in another way.
Yep, he needs that Skullwood small. But it'll show up eventually. There's with three of them in the pool. And there's that third Turtle Rock small key.
I was wondering why he dashed down, but it makes complete sense. He used that dash because it tries the screen scroll slower than just scrolling down with a dash. Very nice little tech decision there.
Yeah, I trust Aussie to know all the little details to speed things up. He does speed run this game, and in a few different categories as well. He is getting low on health, so he's gonna have to be a little careful there. I do believe he's got a red potion, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of the bottles we picked up was a red potion. I think it was one of the bosses, even.
Like he's attempting spooky in the dark, which is not easy. And if you can get past this room, he can just use powder. Yeah, he's got that powder all ready for the anti-fairy that's up here.
And now it's time for Vinny, and where the cave's gonna come into play.
That cave playing a nice role in helping Aussie out, and now you can just finish it up with the bow.
Small fight meanwhile on Leviticus' side. Flash is now taken from Aussie. Moth drops a small key to Turtle Rock. There's number 4.
Yeah. Aussie gets the Skullwoods key before he gets before he decides to go up to Turtle Rock. That will be really good for him.
So what small keys are we missing at this point? We know we have both
we're missing lots of pod smalls. I think they might each have a fourth one. I'm not sure. We're missing Ice Palace small keys, which you don't need. We're missing the Desert Palace small, which you only need if there's an item there. Logically, you need it to beat Desert, but, you know, that's one of those key logic things that you ignore. We still haven't gotten the Thieves Town small key.
No, that could still lead to another item. But at this point, all we're looking for is the mirror and maybe the other medallion. I think everyone...
And the TR's big key. You keep forgetting the TR big key. That's kind of important.
I always forget one thing. I'm not going to deny that.
And, yeah, and like you said, possibly a medallion. I'd like to see Aussie flip back to 6 and get that desert small key. Or the small key on the desert torch. But that's not where he's headed. Oh, he's gonna do Eastern first, that makes sense. Eastern he can just do.
The Vegas now having both the big and the small key now. Small key, of course, was in Mini Molder and Cave, which both hunters have checked by now. I'm just stunned by that instant style post clear.
He has a few different ways to do it. Asi doesn't even want to use his fire rod.
Yeah, these are some of the easier darkers, so it makes perfect sense that he's
No, I disagree. I think, I mean, Asi's just a good player. I completely disagree that's an easy dark room. That is not an easy dark room.
I would say this is depending on how you're equipped, and in this case, they're well equipped.
Yeah, give me a tempered sword. It's not too bad. Not a good start for the quick kill there. I don't think we're gonna get it, but he'll clean it up pretty well. And just a red rupee. Okay, Oxy, where are we going now? Ice Palace? Can we pick up that small key in desert? Looks like it's gonna be Ice Palace. The only risk here is, of course, we don't have the Ice Palace big key, which is logically needed to beat the dungeon, but not hard required. Especially, you know, and we got Icebreaker, so it's not so bad. We got a nice luxury item in red mail, but definitely not what we're looking for.
Yeah, but also he must feel super safe now. With his experience, he's probably feeling pretty much invincible at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean, his equipment is really good for him. Obviously, he'd like a sword. Silver should be nice too, but he definitely doesn't need them. So far, Ice Palace not having much for us. There's the thieves down small. That's pretty gross.
I couldn't agree more on that front. There's a mirror,
that
though.
Mirror. I mean, mirror and ice, you know, we've seen that before. We'll be able to full clear swamp, and I suspect we'll do that before going up and doing Turtle Rock. Yeah, you don't have that, Aussie.
Actually, that mirror puts us in GT mode, doesn't it?
Yeah, because we're missing stuff for Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock's a pendant. And Aussie's missing a Skullwood Small.
Yeah, both of which could just be in Ganon's Tower.
Well, the odds of all three, Skullwood, Small Bay, and Ganon's Tower is pretty slim, but it certainly could happen. It is a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, pretty slim odds for all three of those being there, but I wouldn't have passed the seat to put at least the cheeky big key there, or the Turtle Rock rather.
Okay, so that's it for Ice Palace, except for whatever's on Cold Stair. Mirror's in Logic, but the Cold Stair item is not, because we don't have the big key.
And that half magic fire rod making short work of Cold Stair. Nice double kill on the puffs to finish things up.
Yeah, very nicely done. Oh, there's a small key. Small
To
key
this dungeon.
Of course. We do get a green pendant, so we'll see if Aussie turns that in. He could also check. Again, there's that small key sitting on the torch. Plus, now we also have Checkerboard Cave in that area. And all those things much nicer with boots.
Now, correct me if I'm
Straight to
wrong.
swamp.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but even Key Sanity, if there's a small key there, then that means Ice Palace is still Samaria locked, right?
Would seem that way to me. Is you could use your keys in a way that you can't get to the that you can't do the intended strat and loop around to hit the switches properly. Be able to throw the block in correctly. Yeah. So yeah. But I mean, we have Samario, so it's not really a big deal.
It isn't, but it's still pretty funny when it shows up. At least to me, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it shows up in Key Sandy. You don't see that every day. Happens all the time in normal modes.
I will not deny that. Alright, a first look into Swamp House here.
A small key to Skullwoods. Well, there's that Skullwood small key that Aussie needs, so he can rest easy about that one. Now, Leviticus gets that, he will be like, I don't need Skullwood small keys, because, I don't know about you, that's kind of what I do. And a small key to Dark Palace.
That gives us 4, 5 known. We do have the one up on the Ether Tablet if we absolutely need to go get it. Which does mean we can pull through the dungeon. Because we only need 2 to get the Big Key Chest and the Harmless Hellway,
Oh, yeah,
respectively.
pod. Yeah, I don't think you do that until you're searching for that Turtle Rock Big Key, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely on the table. I expect Aussie to finish Swamp, and then I would expect him to do Skullwoods.
There is also the French chance to get the Turtle Rock Big Key. I keep saying Ganon's Tower for some reason. There is a chance that the Turtle Rock Big Key could just be in the early parts of its own dungeon.
It certainly could. I mean, that Turtle Rock Big Key, there's a lot of really ugly places that it could be. Really having to go back to pod for it would be ugly. That Thieves Town Big Key. We have a whole bunch of mirror checks that suddenly are available that, late mirror just is not nice for that. And we still don't know the TR medallion. We do also have all those Dark Death Mountain checks. that could give us stuff that would be useful. And yeah, we're definitely, you know, not in a position where, I mean, it's kind of go -1, but it could be go -2 depending on the medallion situation. There's a lot of times when I'm not a fan of doing left side first, but in key sandy modes, it's usually the right play.
I can appreciate the thoroughness of this, especially when we're looking for only a couple of items. They could both be over here.
Yeah, one item for sure, and a second item, maybe. Side has nothing today, but these days people tend to do it first because of the new diver down strats. So I fully expect gets to Skullwood, to Swamp, he's going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, diver down is still something I haven't quite got the hang of, much like hammer jumps.
Yeah,
I just need.
It is faster, but I always like to say that faster doesn't mean fast. It's still slow to do left side first, but in key sandy modes, you usually just have to do it that way.
Yeah,
in non-key sandy modes, when there's still a chance that it's just map compass, you know, I tend to not like to do it. Or worse, if you do it and then the big key's in the back, and then you have to go back. I guess worse is map compass. But I also hate doing left side and then the big key ends up being in the back, and then you have to make a decision as to whether or not you go back in for just one item, as opposed to maybe, you know, having to make a decision to go back in for 2 or 3. Like Swamp House is coming up dry.
Ironic considering the place.
And not even a sword. Like, come on, Swamp. I mean, there's still one more shot for a sword, but you know. There's always a sword in Swamp.
It could actually be that mushroom now that I think about it.
Oh yeah, that's a terrible time to have that mushroom become available. That mirror, I hate late mirrors. Give me mirror as my go mode item. You know, it's a great go mode item, but unfortunately not today.
I think Leviticus is actually going to go check the mushroom.
Nah, I think you do Swamp first, and then maybe you do the mushroom afterwards. I mean, you're talking 10 items in Swamp, as opposed to, which could, you know, like you said, get you to your go mode, whereas the mushroom is just one item. No, remember we were talking about that mushroom for fake powder? How naive we were.
Nice, triple fire rod and spin.
Wow, Swamp completely dry. Except it's a wet dungeon because of all the water.
I know, how ironic, like I said.
Let's see if Aussie goes for that mushroom. I mean, this is like the closest he's going to be to it being easy. Yeah, I think maybe? No, he wants to check Bombo's tablet.
And then we'll probably head northward to do Cave South of Grove, or Cave 45.
No, I mean, I think you do your dungeons first. He's got Skullwoods.
Well,
but maybe, yeah.
Well, we haven't done any of this. Well, the 10 arrows there.
Yeah, we haven't done no mirror check, so yeah. I mean, it's certainly legit. We got, but they're all they're just so scattered, you know. And then of course we have Smith Chain. Like, there's a ton of stuff. Whereas we can just go to GT. This is a really tough one.
Yeah, I think Aussie is going to be checking Graveyard Ledge and then going into the Smith Chain with the mirror checks.
I don't know. I might rush GT here, but he is going to go do Skullwoods first because he can.
Well, given Aussie's experience, he knows how much time that takes to climb that mountain multiple times over. I would say that if he's going to check Smith Chain, he's going to do it after Skullwoods.
And minimize how many. I would rush GT. It doesn't mean it's the right call. Doesn't mean it's going to be the call that Aussie makes, but you're talking 27 items in Ganon's Tower. And how many keys do we have? We have... I don't know. It doesn't show. I know we've gotten a few. My Smith chain is long and slow, and I might dip Turtle Rock just in case the big key is just in there. So we do have 3 smalls. Asa gets that 4th Turtle Rock small key, which means he can full clear everything up to the big chest. He doesn't have to worry about lava chest having something.
And that's what Aussie does. And our tracker updating the GT small key counts for us.
Appreciate that.
And it looks like Aussie will be going with your plan and going up to the mountain.
And with two small keys, if he goes left side first, he can full clear it.
Yeah, going for the identity play, I can understand. It's just, I would rather not climb. I would rather climb the mountain once than do it twice if this ends up being not worth it.
Yeah, but you could do all the long checks and still end up climbing the mountain that extra time. Plus, there's a whole bunch of stuff to check here. We have Super Bunny Cave, we have Hookshot Cave. No longer worried about that small key sitting in there in desert because we don't need any more small keys. Small key to Hyrule Castle. Oh hey, that Sword and Zelda cell is now in logic. Thanks, game.
Actually, are we even in go mode yet? Let's find out.
We were
key
never
versus
in.
standing. Oh, but we also
Yep.
need to find Ether.
We need to find Ether. So can't even dip Turtle Rock. We were never in go mode, we were in GT mode. So there's a definite difference there.
I don't usually do key sanity, to be perfectly honest, so I'm not too used to the terms.
Tempered Sword's nice. Both runners going to be happy to pick that up.
Alright, we're looking for Ether and we're looking for the GT Big Key. Are they both in?
TR.
I did it again! We're looking for the TR Big Key. Are they both in here or are they both in Overworld? Or is it a mix of both? Let's find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out soon enough.
And keep in mind, if we see a Big Key, it may also be the Ice House Big Key. Oh, actually, no, it can't be. Oh, no, it could be in here.
No. Oh, yeah, because Ice is a pendant. That absolutely could be in here. Manassi's just going to go straight up left side. I kind of like that. I see some guesses in chat, which is kind of funny. We can't really play the GT Big Key game, but we can play what number chess is going to have our progression. There's a Big Key. There's that Ice Palace Big Key. Oh my god. Thanks, game.
And that leaves one Big Key left to find, so if we see another Big Key, that is TR's Big Key by default.
Yep. Looks like Leviticus is going to do at least the Bombos check. Leviticus also has to do Eastern. I don't think he's even been in there, so he'll full clear that. And he has to do it before he could even go to GT.
I've never seen that from Aussie. My eyes are actually literally wide open from bewilderment. How did he get past that fire snake?
No, he has his tricks. Silvers is nice. Sadly, the only thing that's going to help us on now is Ganon, since we've already done Misery Mire. But, you know, they'll help us with the mimics at least. Okay, Leviticus can do at least a few overroll checks. K45 is nothing.
I believe you can also use the ball and chain guards to one-shot them, but it's probably faster to just... Well, actually, no, fire would still take a little bit of time.
And remember to check the big chest before doing Ice Armos. That is a small key to this dungeon, so... Okay, thanks, game. We need that too, logically.
Oh! Hello! Sewer bomb check coming up from Leviticus.
Yeah. Well, this makes a lot of sense for him, because he can take this right over into Eastern Palace. And for those people that are saying in chat how much they hate having to look at GT for progression in this mode, yeah, I completely agree. That's why I like that item on that required item sitting there on the pedestal. We get a shovel. That's gross.
And both boomerangs are in here.
Logically, we need that. Leviticus will be happy to know that he got a logically needed GT small key.
Okay, this seed hates our runners.
I think all seeds hate our runners. I mean, come on.
Well, both of the free items you can get from the tossing a bottle in are bees.
Yeah, that's normal. Leviticus gonna grab that mushroom. Surprised he didn't do this first after Swamp, but you know. All that for the single arrow, poor Aussie.
Mushroom turn-in coming up from Leviticus.
Yep. I wonder if that key sitting on the torch is the last GT big or last GT small. Oh, hey, a bottle.
That is our last bottle on Leviticus' side.
GT basement has nothing.
Going up.
Yep, this part you have to do anyway. So everything we have left outside of the climb is just really bad checks. We have Graveyard Ledge, we have Ice Palace Big Chest, we have... Let's see. A couple of locations left in Pod, although those still aren't in Logic because we still don't have the keys. But Pod being a crystal means those keys are available. So you can ignore that logic.
Also doing hammering up and knowing that we have a key on Ether tablet, we can get both items there regardless.
Very quick work of the of Landmo 2 with those silvers.
Looks like Leviticus got the quick kill. Looking good. Oh no, lost it. Just slightly out of position for the volley to the south side of the room.
Oh yeah, and of course the Smith's chain is still outstanding, so... Okay, can you give us a... Nope, that's not a big key. Or a medallion. That's not a big key, or a medallion. You need that small key.
Would be the worst place for it.
At this point, you know you're gonna have to climb up the mountain extra time because you're not gonna mirror out of this.
No.
Oh, we also have Hera Basement. We never did find a lamp, so we're completely out of logic if you want to speak technically.
We have a question, chat. If they checked Castle Tower yet? Jago, we are playing with a special rule set called Fad Keys. It's basically all Dungeons Key Sanity, but the Castle Tower small keys are kept in their respective locations. So, no, there's nothing up there.
A lot of good that did us this seed.
Yeah, it's been kind of a rude seed. Triple double from Aussie, pretty standard fare.
And we'll decide. We'll see if he decides to do Castle Tower right now, if we'll come back for it. He may put it off on the off chance that the lamp shows up, but you know, Fire Rod Castle Tower isn't that bad, so we'll see what he decides to do.
He has a couple options here. If he does it now, once he eventually finds the items, at the Turtle Rock, he can save warp to the pyramid.
Yep, and that's one of the reasons you might just do it now. And unfortunately, that's a mirror bonk.
Ouch!
Trying to do it in exactly the right place so he doesn't fall down the hole. And this also gives him a chance to think about what he wants to do next. Meanwhile, Leviticus is going to do all his GT basement checks for naught.
Oh, I just had something evil come to my mind.
Pretty much everywhere that's left is evil, so I'm not sure of what's any more evil than any of the locations we have left.
Ether locked behind Ice Palace Big Key, which locks the French Vanilla.
Yeah, stop being SG chat. They're the ones that are supposed to come up with those nasty chains. Pretty much, like I said, though, every location we have left is bad. We have, for Asti, he still has some South Darkhold stuff. But for both runners, what we have left is a couple chests in Pod. We have Graveyard Ledge. We have Smith Chain. We have Ice Palace Big Chest with the Ice Palace Big Key sitting here in GT. And we have the Shovel Spot. I'm not sure I'm forgetting anything, but maybe I am.
I don't think you are, no. Alright, so how many blue balls are we getting from Angle 1? What do you think, Tracy?
I would say 3, because it's always 3. Our tracker scrub casual with the 16, which would be getting the 15 and missing a shot.
I'm gonna say 5. Already, why stop there?
And of course, this will be the same for both runners, so no one's going to gain or lose time off of this unless they miss a shot. Which really doesn't happen very often. Aussie having some fun with the boomerang.
It looks like it's not even 3, it looks like it was 2. Oh no, wait, it was 3 cycles. No, it was 3.
Like I said, always 3. Yeah, I win. According to chat, I win. I don't know about that. Okay, Aussie gonna do Smiths, which will allow him to hit all those South Dark World checks and mirror checks. I didn't catch it. I didn't realize Leviticus decided, oh, he's doing the Dark Magician routing. Which, I'm not sure I like that for when you're doing the GT basement for progression items, but I've also never timed it out. And I don't typically use that strat for a regular either, so.
Well, we're finally getting the Smith chain here.
Yep. So my guess is Aussie's going to finish these checks about the time that Leviticus finishes up his climb, so... or maybe a little less. There's the lamp! Not that it's... I mean, really not useful anymore. But he picks it up anyway. I mean, he'll have it for the TR Darkroom.
Yeah, the TR Darkroom is definitely one of the easier ones, but it's... can be tricky if you lose your muscle memory on it.
Yeah, the nice thing about that is if once you get off rail, so to speak, if you just hold up, you'll end up back at the start. But that's slow. But I often joke that it's actually faster for me to use the to do it in the dark than with the lamp, because I usually stop at the safety island, but not when it's dark. So I'm also going to be able to do this very efficiently. We'll see if he picks up the mushroom.
What's the case Alpha Grove?
No, we've seen this.
Oh yeah, right.
We have not seen the shovel check, which is going to be the next check that Aussie does. And of course, the runners are going to want to find that Thieves Town big key first, because they can't get into the dungeon that way. If you find the ether, now you can get into the dungeon. Of course, at this point, there's actually a really good chance that Thieves Town big key is just in Thieves Town. That TR big key is in TR. Here's another small key to Skull Woods. So logically speaking, Skull Woods was behind. Logically speaking, Skull Woods was behind GT. That's always fun. And yeah, Thieves Town Big Chest. That is a thing we have not done.
So, little trick here that Aussie's doing. We're gonna mirror, and the chest is still technically not with us, so we turn it in.
And there's Ether. Let's see what Aussie decides to do. He may just rush Turtle Rock, but he may. Let's see what he does. Looks like he's at least going to turn in that mushroom, because that's the direction he's headed in. Or maybe do Pyramid Fairy, which we know is nothing. We know both of those are nothing. And that's another reason to do Castle Tower first, because it's a little faster and more efficient to turn in the big bomb when you have Aga down. So now that we've seen all this, there's still 2 pod locations that could have the big key. There's still Graveyard Ledge. There's still Ice Palace Big Chest.
And Thieves Town and
did I not say Thieves Town?
Or not Mini Molder, Tower Hera.
Oh yeah, Hera Basement.
But failing all those, you could just be in Turtle Rock. And
I think you just
out of it.
I think you just go there. We'll see what else Aussie decides to check in the meantime.
It's once again that strange conundrum. Do you want to risk another mountain climb to be wrong?
That is true.
The runners have already been burned by it once. I don't think they want to be burned by it a second time. So
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call us burnt by it. I mean, it's not like you don't have to do GT, so
yeah.
He's gonna grab that mushroom.
Yeah, I would honestly, at this point, if I didn't already check the overrule before heading up the mountain to go to GT, I'd do it now.
Yeah, but do you check the pod locations? Do you check the ice location? Do you check Graveyard Ledge? Do you check Hera Basement? Like, there's still a lot of really... Checkerboard Cave. You check Checkerboard Cave. Okay. Forgot about Checkerboard Cave.
I also forgot about Checkerboard Cave. But in terms of that, Tower Hera I do last alongside Turtle Rock.
Okay, this is a... Oh, did we get the... Oh, this could be the Desert Small. Okay, never mind. That is... We have not seen the Desert Small. And Desert Palace being a crystal could... logically, that Desert Palace Small should be available, and maybe it is the one sitting on the torch. We still don't know what key that is. Yeah, that would be a pretty funny one, Desert Small in Desert for TR Big. Let's see, where is Aussie headed now? He's gonna turn in that mushroom. Yeah, you don't pick that up without turning it in. But, you know, it's not really a...
Meanwhile, Leviticus is defeated Aghanim 2.
Yeah, let's see if he also chooses to do Castle Tower right away. Like...
What the?
Yeah, it's just a little glitch thing you can do that doesn't really do anything except make the screen look funny. And it looks like he's going to head up to TR and hope for the big key to just be vanilla or French vanilla. Nice dead rock. The fact that the ether came up first definitely leads, I believe, makes it a little more likely that it's going to be just in there. But the fact that Aussie's going in this direction tells me that he is going to check Hera Basement before going in.
Might pick up the small key on Critical Rock here, too.
Yeah, it's a good call. It's a pod small. Okay. Oh, right, there's a small key here. There's the other pod small key here. So this will give him the rest of pod with no trouble. So if the answer is pod, logically there was an extra mountain climb required. And Leviticus is thinking, what do I do now? He's going to do Smith Chain, which makes sense. Asi's going to check the big chest first. We know that's not the answer.
Yeah, it's easier to set up the spin speed with the door closed, so this makes some sense.
Asi just going to fall down the dungeon to get to the basement.
Leviticus down on the right track, getting the Smith turned in.
Wait, he did do Castle Tower, right? Did he do Castle Tower?
Yeah, Asi did it to Castle Tower. Leviticus did not.
Okay. I knew Asi did it.
And just encompasses Swamp Palace there. Also, way to body block from that Stalfos.
It happens. He has not done Spiral Cave. We also know this is not the answer.
There's Ether now for Leviticus. Leviticus, I think, is just going to go straight into Turtle Rock.
Well, if it's there, then they're both going to do it. So that would be advantage Asi since he's already done Castle Tower. It's also a little bit further ahead, and if it's not there, I think they've basically done the same checks.
Yeah, the only checks we haven't seen yet are Thieves Town's big chest, the 2 checks in
Pod,
yeah,
and Ice Palace big chest. Yeah, so not having those CT smalls vanilla just helped so much on this seed.
Yeah, this was pretty much a hundo seed.
Also, pretty certain they both have four smalls. We'll see in just a second for sure.
I want to say one of them doesn't. Oh no, they both vote for. Never mind. Alright, we're about to find out really quickly if this is the correct location.
Well, I mean, it could be all the way into Lava Chest, so.
Yeah, it's still about a minute in.
And Mimic Cave is also a thing. Hey! Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so Asi in go mode. Leviticus going to be in go mode shortly. But Asi quite a bit ahead because he's already done Castle Tower. Leviticus still has to do that. But really good race. I mean, if that Thieves Town... Sorry, you were saying GT instead of TR. I'm now saying Thieves Town instead of Turtle Rock. But if one of those overworld locations that Leviticus checked before going up to GT had been the answer, then this could have been a completely different race.
Well, while we have a little bit of time, we can safely say that next week we will be having something different. And something that will be nice for certain runners.
Well, runners that like boots are going to be very happy. Next week is casual boots, right?
Yep.
I'm not remembering wrong. Yeah, casual boots is kind of a fun mode. Knowing that you're going to have those boots for the entire game. And we won't be looking for TR big keys in weird places, so.
Well, it was in a normal place, but it was just...
Yeah, but we were looking in weird places, right?
Not denying that, nope.
Yeah, and Aussie showing how quickly you can go through this dungeon when you just already have all the keys. And Leviticus not that far behind.
That is the second time the enemy has blocked Aussie's attempt to flip through this place in one cycle.
Also, nice that we have that tempered sword, one of the bosses that it helps the most in.
This looks pretty good. I think we'll get a double spin out of this and a slash to wrap up Trinex.
Yeah, Scrub Casual, our tracker, with a nice sense of humor, saying, "Wait, keys can be in the dungeon?" Yeah, sadly it happens.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that pen to pick up, the goal has been met and Aussie can now fight Ganon.
Yeah, and I do expect he'll just save and quit right outside the dungeon, like you said, and he'll just drop right down.
Yeah, it doesn't have to worry about resources at all. Because I believe Aussie still has the red potion and the green potion he picked up from the witch hut.
So, I mean, he should be fine regardless. This is a fight he's done many, many times, and, you know, like, if you're an NMG runner, hey, look, I got silvers, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna be a one-on-one here. This is pretty clean here. It's 12 hits in both phases. That is just
Not
very
taking
easy.
any damage whatsoever.
You can just tell that Aussie has done some good work here.
Yeah. I mean, he really is one of the best here. He's the, you know, he won the, a year and a half ago, won the, what do you call it, the, boiler tournament, has won SMZ3 tournaments, you know. He definitely knows his way around this game.
Ganon, though, proved to be quite annoying in the last hit.
Oh, you know. Gotta have some warps there, you know. Wouldn't be Ganon without him. Oh, nice triple. You don't usually see that from the bottom. Usually you see that going up.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat for Aussie 101, who will win this race for Shaktool's Gin game, putting them, I believe, 3-1 as they close out their second week of League.
Yeah, and finishing up with an official race time of 1:57.41, and given what we had to do in the seed, not too bad. I think sub-2ing this seed is pretty good. And unfortunately, Leviticus is going to go ahead and forfeit, at least officially. Perhaps he is going to go and just do it anyway, which would be cool. So hopefully we can get both of them in for an interview. It looks like we have Aussie with us. GG's Aussie. That was a rough one.
Hey, GG.
Yeah, this was all over the place in terms of the seed.
Yeah, it's hard to not leave holes in the route. Like, pretty much everywhere had like, one check left over, mostly inside all the dungeons.
Yeah,
so-
those were the worst. And we also have Leviticus joining us. GG's. We were just talking about it, how it was a rough one, and how all the leaving holes in dungeons. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think by the end you had between the two of you, I think you'd done everything the same. Because you were down a castle tower climb coming out of Turtle Rock. But it was like, I think we had Ice Palace big chest, Thieves Town big chest, the 2 items in pod. If the desert key was somewhere, probably sitting on that desert torch, which is funny when you think about it. Desert basically, I think Graveyard Ledge may have still been a thing. Basically, a whole lot of really bad checks.
Yep, it was a seed, all right. I didn't even feel that bad about it though by the end, to be honest.
No. Oh, and
Wow.
and how about those castle tower keys being vanilla? That helped a lot.
Right? Wasn't that crazy? Is this even randomized? Oh my god.
Oh gosh. But yeah, how worried were you all about those leftover dungeon locations?
I mean, it's exactly what you don't want to see in a tournament race, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
imagine having, yeah, I mean, the TR big key ended up being more of an ice rod than the castle tower keys have ever been.
I know, right?
So much for one ice rod seeds.
Yep. Yeah, and and it's tough because as Wolflin kept saying, you don't want to do that extra trip up the mountain, but gosh, with that ether, you have all 4 Turtle Rock smalls. You just want to go in and find it in Turtle Rock, but there's no way to know.
Well, after I completely cleared GT with apps finding literally nothing, I just decided to go for it.
Both
And,
you did. Not even a sword.
No, not even.
Got silvers.
Yep,
Yeah,
that
there
is
was
true. You got
silvers. I guess
silvers.
that's
Silvers
true.
are nice.
I don't think that's probably still a time loss.
For where they were, yeah.
Just a bit.
For sure.
Yeah, this seems just crazy, and I saw a couple things from you specifically last week that I had never seen before. I still have no idea how you got past that fire stick in GT.
On that, the frame rule.
Yeah.
So that's not consistent. So but if you pause at the right time and use the boomerang on the switch specifically, then you can get past the fire snake.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I also didn't let you glitch the potion shot screen like that, but anyway. So yeah, you guys are now 3-1, I believe, in the league, going into week 3 casual boots. Shaktool's getting game. You are going to be fighting Team Mogliacci. I hope I pronounced that right.
I think that's right.
Boomer Friendly, you are 0-4 now. Hopefully you can come back and be in contention for the qualifier for the playoffs. And you're going up against the Immortals.
The non-relegation dream is still alive.
Yeah.
Catch Boots is definitely going to be a fun mode, but any thoughts about your upcoming opponents?
To be honest, I haven't really been paying attention to who my opponents are. Kind of on purpose, kind of not really. I just feel like everyone's going to be good, and so I just don't really care who my opponents are. I feel like I'll just get less in my own head about it if I don't really pay attention to it.
I think that's a good attitude.
Yeah, so I wish I could tell you what I think about them, but I don't even know who's on that team, so I really have nothing to say.
You've got time. Yeah, you've got time to figure it out before it actually happens.
Yeah,
at least.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Do you happen to know who of your team members are going to be taking part next week, though?
I believe it's going to be myself and Don Winner. That's my understanding, anyway.
All right, looking forward to see you two racing casual boots. Aussie, same to you. Your thoughts on who you're up against and who's going to be taking part next week?
So you can have a pretty similar sentiment for most of the teams where like everyone's strong, so like you can expect all your matches to be like within variance, so just play your best. But yeah, Mugliacci, it's gonna be a good race. And for next week, I'm sitting out, so Hitaka and Aster, and wish them luck.
That'll in fact be Azure's first race of the season, so should be interesting to see who gets matched up with who next week. But yeah, I mean, this one, and Leviticus, this was exactly the type of seed that, that really could have played well into your situation. I mean, Aussie really is one of the best.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
And, you did a whole bunch of overroll checks before heading up to GT, and if any one of those had paid out, you would have been really, really nice position to take this one. So, I really thought you did a nice job. Going through this one. Unfortunately, the Smith chain was the answer, and it wasn't the ones you did. But
well, that's okay. I just tried to do the stuff that was close by, just on chance that it was what I was looking for. I don't know. Sometimes that's all you can really do, especially in keys. It's just the way it is, especially in a seed like this where you're looking for one key and it's a pendant dungeon big, and you have to get it, and it's just the whole thing.
Oh, Ozzy, I got a question for you. So, were you worried? I mean, there's 3 Skullwood Smalls, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But you did steal that one, the Skullwood Small, and it was a while before you got.
It's never a problem. Skullwood keys are everywhere.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot all about that. I should have done that.
Well, you dropped down to get the the item, so it worked out.
Eventually, but not the first time though.
No, that's true. You didn't.
I skipped it on purpose when I realized I had no small keys, and I didn't want to get stuck down there and have to go all the way back. But
yeah, shout outs to the days of pinball room always being a small key, right?
Oh yeah, I wish.
I kind of miss that for Key Sanity. Like for regular, just I don't think I care.
Yeah,
for Key Sanity, I definitely miss it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got to the pot, like where the pot key is. And that's when I remembered I didn't have any keys at all. But then I felt I got bailed out by Mitz there, and then I was able to just do everything with Mitz.
Yeah. Also, when you went back into Skullwoods, you didn't even think you had the key to just finish it off with the fire rod. But I mean, it takes 3 small keys for Moth to be in Logic, so it kind of had to be under the bridge. But, I'm not sure, but that might have been our only logical check at that point.
Yeah, I felt like there were a couple points where I hit last logical check.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say sometimes. Yeah, some of the key logics are somewhat weird.
Like the fire rod was one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that fire rod was super awkward because I went to desert before the mountain for some reason. And then going to the mountain, I found Big Key, and then I had to go back. And then there was fire on. I was like, all right, so now I have to go back.
Yep.
It's just, yeah.
All right. Anything either one of you want to add before we close this out?
GG I'm happy with that it was as close as it was, because I know you guys are like probably one of the most top tier teams in the league out of all of the top tier teams that are here. So the fact that we kept it close on Monday with Scrub and now today, that's fine by me. Absolutely.
Right, Aussie?
So I'll comment that I forgot that Agate Tower had dark rooms when I went in there.
Well, at least you had a fire rod.
Yeah, so it took a second to remember what to do. Yeah, it's been a good race, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so yeah, we still have more races on the schedule. In fact, we have 2 races coming up in about 20 minutes at 9:40. We have Frozen Leftovers versus the Titansmiths. That'll be Mystic versus Relkin. That'll be over on SpeedGaming 4. We also have I Like Big Boots versus Crosswords Key Sandy. That'll be Gans Gone Wild versus Paradox. That'll be over on SpeedGaming 3. And then at 10:10 p.m. we have Swirly Coin Brewing, one of my favorite names, by the way, versus the Skull Kids. That'll be Homemade Beer versus Gamachu. That'll be over on SpeedGaming 5, and we're even putting SpeedGaming 6 to work That'll be at 11:10. The Immortals versus New Swagga Jackson. So Leviticus, they'll be there. There's your chance to do a little scouting. That'll be James FNX versus Wall Kicks. So yeah, a whole lot more tonight. Matches all day tomorrow, starting at about just after noon. So keep an eye on the schedule. And yeah, this just this is the time of year when you just got Link to the Past all over the place. So
yeah, and those last two matches, like I said, like Tracy said, Immortals and New Swaggy Jacks are part of the Kakariko division that these two are part of. Swirly Cornbrew and Skull Kids are also part of
Kakariko. Yep.
Yeah.
So a whole lot of scouting y'all can do.
Indeed. But yeah, folks, once again, give our GGs to our runners here. They put on an excellent race for us tonight. Also give a follow to my commentator as well, Tracy M. And of course our runners. I think I slipped there and messed up. Anyway. Also, shout outs to our tracker once again, Scrub Casual. Give him a follow as well. And you can drop me a follow, I guess, as well. I have been Wolfling Zero, and from all of us here at A Link to the Past Randomizer League, we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned, though, because we have that race for Sticking Relkin coming up in about 20 minutes. So see you guys then.